ESPN Plus. And well, Santa Clara is going to have their hands full today because they are playing a team that has not lost since February 21st against the University of Alabama. This Florida State team comes in 35-4, and they have won 24 games in a row. For Santa Clara, they've also been on a nice stretch. They've won 4 of their last 6, including 2 conference series wins against Loyola Marymount last weekend and then Oregon State the most previous weekend. So this is a Santa Clara team that also has some confidence, but they are going to have their hands full against a Florida State team that has hopes of winning the national championship this year nationwide. And we'll have the starting lineups for you on ESPN Plus here coming up in just a bit. Once again, Santa Clara hosting the number 9 team in the nation, Florida State, and we'll see you after the break. Then we'll show you how that entire lineup looks here in just a moment. But first, Isa Torres. And when I read you her statistics, no, they are not a misprint. These are real statistics as she is going to bunt this first pitch. Foul over to the left side of the third base line. Isa Torres comes in with a .610 batting average, 8 home runs, and 36 RBIs. Her OPS is in the 1700s. When I said this is one of the best hitters in the nation, I was not exaggerating. It's 0-1 here to Torres. Hazel Gray, she's been great as of late after a rough start to the season. Here's her 0-1, and that misses high and outside, and it's 1-1. For Hazel Gray, she's got her last 8 2/3 over 2 outings, only allowing 1 run in those 2 outings over 8 2/3. In fact, going back through her last 6 outings, she's only allowed a total of 4 earned runs. As this is a swing and a miss at the top of the zone, and it's 1-2. Hazel Gray has not allowed more than one earned run in an outing since February 22nd when she pitched against Stanford. Florida State is here in Santa Clara because they are playing Stanford this weekend. They got in last night, and they're playing a one-off game here against the Broncos. This is lined right back up the middle, and Isa Torres does what Isa Torres does as she gets a leadoff single, and Florida State is cooking with gas here to start the first inning. So this seems like a good time to go through the starting lineups here for Florida State. And the way it's going to look is Torres at the top. You just saw her. Jaysoni Beecham. Then it's Marin Heller, followed by Ashton Danley, Anna Hind, Kennedy Harp, Bella Ruggiero, Haley Griggs, and McKenna Sturgis. The head coach is Lonnie Alameda, one of the longtime great head coaches in the nation in her 18th season. Gray ready to go. Here comes the pitch to Beecham, and she takes a strike on the outer third of the plate, and it's 0-1. Well, there are no real easy at-bats in this Florida State lineup. Beecham, she's hitting .398. 0-1 here to Beecham. And she takes high and inside. It's 1-1. Again, you're looking at one of the contenders to win the national title this year. Florida State, they come in 35-4, number 9 in the nation. They're 12-0 in the ACC. They lead one of the premier conferences in college softball at the moment. 1-1, and that pitch misses high. Taking off for second is Torres, and that throw might have gotten her if Rubio could have hung on. Instead, Torres is going to go to third. And it'll be a stolen base and an E6. Again, that throw was on time. Now, of course, you don't know what happens with the tag and if Torres is able to slide underneath it, but assuming Rubio is able to put down that tag quickly, they might have had Torres. Instead, Torres moves to third, and Santa Clara is charged with their first error of the evening. So 2-1 count here to Beecham. And this is lined into right field for a base hit, and just like that, Florida State has a 1-0 lead. So Beecham comes through with the RBI. And so Beecham now with 47 RBIs on the season. She leads the Seminoles in that category. Marin Heller will come up to the plate now. Heller, a .382 hitter. So Beecham now the runner at first. Here's the pitch, and Heller takes high and outside. It's 1-0. Well, that's how quickly the Seminoles can do it to you. Single, stolen base error, single, bang, they're already up 1-0. Beecham over at first is 4 for 4 in stolen base attempts this year. 1-0 pitch, and this is a line drive up the middle, right off the glove of Rubio, and it'll roll into center field. So the third straight single for Florida State. We've seen Rubio make some phenomenal diving catches this year, but that time Rubio just could not secure it in the glove. And so Beecham goes to second, and Heller's at first. So Ashton Danley will come up to the plate. And early on, Santa Clara on the ropes. This is a Florida State team. You know, they have their eyes on coming in here, having a quick win, and then moving on to Stanford. So Santa Clara's got to make sure that the number on the board here in the top of the first isn't all too crooked, as there's a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Danley, a .342 hitter with 4 home runs and 18 RBIs. And that's fouled away. It's 0-2. Ashton Danley, a junior out of Winchester, Tennessee. As you'd expect, most of the players on this Florida State team from out east. And these matchups are always fascinating because a lot of West Coast players play each other all the way through prep, into travel ball, into high school. And the same for East Coast players. But when you get this East Coast versus West Coast matchup, you have a lot of ladies who have never played each other before. As this misses outside, 1-2. Florida State, as I mentioned, they're on their yearly trip out west. They always got to play Cal or Stanford or some combination of the two now that those two schools are in the ACC. 1-2 pitch to Danley. And this is lined out to left center field, and that's going to be trouble for the Broncos. Coming around third, and to score is Beecham. Right behind her is Heller. She comes around third, and she will score. And it's 3-0 Florida State as Ashton Danley hits a 2 RBI double into the left center field gap. And the Seminoles have gotten out to a great start here. No signs of jet lag whatsoever after getting in last night. And so Santa Clara, they're going to have to hold it here. They cannot afford to fall too much further behind, even though it's early. So Anna Hind will come up to the plate now. She's the designated player. And Hind takes a bit high. Mark Maciel is behind the plate. Orlando Mahoney is the first base umpire, and Joseph Carter is the third base umpire. 1-0 count here to Hind. Already 3 runs in for Florida State. And that misses high. 2-0. Well, like most of the ladies on this Florida State team, Hind is hitting over 300 as well. She's got a 348 average. 2-0 pitch to Hind. And that misses low. 3-0. A Florida State team that's top 3 in the ACC in runs scored and batting average. 3-0 pitch here to Hind. And that misses high and outside, so a 4-pitch walk. Only 2 real competitive pitches in that sequence from Gray. And so the first 5 hitters for Florida State all reach. And here comes Kennedy Harp. Harp, the center fielder for Florida State. It's a gorgeous evening here at Santa Clara Softball Stadium. Just a few clouds up in the sky, temperatures in the 70s. So before a big rainstorm is coming into the Bay Area this weekend, as this misses high, 1-0. So enjoy the warm, pleasant Northern California spring weather while it lasts. San Diego will be coming into town this weekend. We'll have all those broadcasts for you here on ESPN+. And we'll see if we can get them all in with the rain. 1-0 to Harp. And that misses inside, 2-0. Well, right now, Hazel Gray is really getting squeezed, not because all of her pitches are close, but because she's missing by quite a bit. And then the pitches that are close, she's just not getting the calls. 2-0 to Harp. And there's a strike on the outside corner. 2-1. Danley at second, Hind at first. And this game is already teetering on a very, very tough spot for Santa Clara if they can't get out of this inning, limiting the damage to 3, as this is off the outside, 3-1. And Gray does not want to walk 2 hitters in a row, which is what she would do if she throws another ball here. So a 3-1 to Harp. Here's the pitch, and that's fouled away. Harp had a good cut at it. It's 3-2. So Hazel Gray already allowing 3 earned runs in just this first inning. Again, she had only allowed 4 earned runs in her last 6 appearances. 3-2 pitch here to Harp. Swing and a miss. So the first out of the inning and the first out of the game is a strikeout swinging by Kennedy Harp, as Gray was able to rush it past the center fielder for the Seminoles. And Bello Ruggiero will come up to the plate. Ruggiero, the catcher for Florida State. 324 hitter. First pitch to her. And there's an off-speed pitch for a strike. It's 0-1. Again, Danley at second, Hind at first. Ruggiero, a redshirt freshman for this Florida State team. 0-1 pitch. And this is a ground ball to the right side, into right field for a base hit. And the runners will go station to station, as that throw was a bit up the line there from Zavarella. But Florida State unwilling to risk a possible out on the base paths there. So a single puts the bases loaded here with 1 out for Haley Griggs.
Up next, the first basewoman, number 1, Haley Griggs.
So Danley at third, Hind at second. And now Ruggiero at first. 5 hits in the inning already for the Seminoles. Griggs, a .258 hitter. First pitch to her is off the outside, 1-0. Griggs is a freshman in her first year with this Florida State program. 1-0 pitch. And that misses inside, 2-0. Well, Hazel Gray's got to throw a strike. There's nowhere to put Haley Griggs right now. Again, it's already 3-0 Florida State. (2-0) coming up here to Griggs. And there's a strike as that ball just kind of hugs the outside part of the plate. 2-1. Griggs from Perrysburg, Ohio. She's a Midwest girl, taking her talents down to Florida. Here comes the 2-1. And that misses in the dirt. 3-1. Well, Griggs should get something to hit here. Hazel Gray's pretty much got a challenge at this point. And we were thinking, oh, well, maybe they'll get a break with the 9th-place hitter on deck. Do not be too quick. McKenna Sturgis on deck. She's got a .379 batting average. 3-1 pitch, and that's fouled away. So Griggs did get something to hit and fouls it off, so it's 3-2. And the unfortunate truth here for Hazel Gray is she's kind of got to do the same thing here in a 3-2 count. She's just got to throw one right down the middle of the plate and hope that Griggs hits it at one of her fielders. 3-2, 1 out. Bases loaded. 3-0 Florida State. We're just in the top of the first. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. So both outs in this inning come on strikeouts, and both of them come on the fastball. And that'll bring up McKenna Sturgis. Big out there for Hazel Gray, especially considering the fact that she fell behind 3-1. So Sturgis will come up to the plate now. She's having a great year. 3 home runs, 23 RBIs. Bases still loaded. Here's the pitch. And there's a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. So Hazel Gray maybe starting to settle in a little bit here later in this first inning. This is the 9th hitter Florida State has sent up to the plate here in just the first. A 1 pitch. And this is a ground ball, and it's going to get past third base. Merlino couldn't get it on the dive. 2 runs are going to come in to score as Danley and Hind bring it on in home. And we'll see if they rule that a single and advance on the throw or a straight double. So it's going to be a straight double and a couple of RBIs there for Sturgis. And already, Gina Carbonado is going to have to make a pitching change as Hazel Gray is unable to get out of the first inning. So bad news here for the Broncos. They're already down 5-0 here in the top of the first, and the rally has not ended, and they have just lost their starting pitcher here after only 2/3 of an inning. And so let's take a look here at the defensive alignment for Santa Clara while we have a chance. From left to right, it's Robin Mediano, Caitlin Golub, and Sofia Zavarella. From third to first, it's Ella Merlino, Rebecca Rubio, Kyra Correan, and Leora Davidson. The catcher is Taryn Clements, and, well, Hazel Gray was the pitcher. But now it's going to be Carrie Ferguson. Carrie Ferguson is out in the circle here for Santa Clara. She is the ace of the staff, and so Gina Carbonado, she's going to give the ball here to her ace and pretty much tell her we can't give up anything else. Ferguson comes in with a 2.78 ERA. This is only her 4th relief appearance on the season. She has 19 games started, and she's thrown over 100 innings for the Santa Clara team, 103 1/3. She has been a workhorse, to say the least. So Ferguson is going to get to face, well, welcome to the game, Carrie Ferguson. You get to face one of the best hitters in all of college softball, and Isa Torres. So Ferguson not getting an easy task here coming out of the bullpen. Again, 5 runs already in the inning here for Florida State, and the Seminoles have officially batted around with Isa Torres coming up to the plate. Torres had a single to start this first inning, and she scored the first run. And we still have time out here on the field. Zavarella, who was the right fielder and was in the flex spot, well, she is no longer. Hazel Gray moves from pitcher to right field. So here comes the first pitch to Torres. And that misses low and outside, 1-0. Carrie Ferguson, a much different look than Hazel Gray. Hazel Gray throws the ball very hard. Carrie Ferguson, more of a drop ball pitcher, throws her pitches kind of in the mid-50s as far as miles per hour is concerned. 1-0 to Torres. And this is lined into right field, down for extra bases. In is Ruggiero, behind her is Sturgis. Torres is still running. She's gonna slide into third base. That was a close play, but she's in with a triple. 2 RBI triple for Isa Torres, and it's already 7-0, Florida State. Well, the Seminoles came in as the number 9 team in the nation, and they are showing why. 7 runs already here in the first. And Sunny Beecham will come up to the plate. First pitch to her. And that misses high, 1-0. All those runs charged to Hazel Gray. So that'll inflate her ERA a little bit. 1-0 here to Beecham. Here's the pitch, and there's a strike. It's 1-1. Beecham singled earlier in the inning and actually knocked in Isa Torres. Now she's trying to do the same exact thing with Torres over at third once again. 1-1 pitch coming up here to Beecham. Popped up high in the air. Out to shortstop. Rubio's going to come in and make the catch, and that'll end the inning. Well, Florida State did some damage, to say the least. They score 7 runs here in the top of the first, and Santa Clara's got a lot of work to do. We'll see if they're up to the task after the break. You are watching college softball here on ESPN+.
You have the power to write your own story, create new possibilities, and set new standards. With pride and prestige, you have the power to forge a new path. We develop fearless leaders, dominate in the classroom, and inspire on the field. From the picturesque landscapes of the Pacific Northwest to the sun-drenched shores of Southern California, you have the power to rewrite history, break barriers, and create a legacy here in the West Coast Conference.
Introducing Mike's Hot Italian Sub from Jersey Mike's. Fresh ham, salami, and pepperoni chopped up by hand right on the grill. Forget about it. Then topped with a layer of melted provolone? Forget about it. And the regular is only $8.95? Forget about it. Wait a minute. Actually, remember about it. Because you gotta try it with our chopped pepper relish before it's gone. The all-new Mike's Hot Italian Sub for a limited time only at Jersey Mike's.
When you talk about competence, it's about pursuing your unique gift.
Starting off with Clara Curran, the leadoff hitter for the Broncos. There's the look at the starting lineup. Curran, one of the best hitters in the WCC, so she's going to try to get things started here for Santa Clara. Marie Martorella getting a start in the cleanup spot as well. For Florida State, their defense from left to right is going to be Sturgis, Harp, and Danley. From third to first, Beecham, Torres, Heller, and Griggs. The catcher is Ruggiero. And then the starting pitcher here for Florida State, who fires one a bit high, is Bella Dimitrievich. Dimitrievich, who got roughed up a little bit in her last start against Notre Dame on April 4th, 4 earned runs and 2 1/3. But before that, 8 2/3 innings, over 5 outings, only 1 earned run allowed. 1-0 coming up to Curran, and there's a strike. It's 1-1. Kyra had a kind of uncharacteristic series against Oregon State. Only had 1 hit over 3 games. 1-1 as this is fouled away, 1-2. This is the reigning WCC Player of the Year here in Kyra Curran.
I can't get out anymore.
Curran, who lost her team lead in batting average over the weekend to the woman behind her in the lineup, who's on deck right now, Rebecca Rubio. Still hitting .355 as this is fouled away. Curran, a home run and 11 RBIs. it's incredible to say that hitting 355 is a down year, but after the year that we saw Clara have last season, it kind of feels that way. 1-2 coming up to Coran. And that's outside, 2-2. Florida State is leaving the middle of the infield wide open right now. Their shortstop, Torres, is basically playing the third base position while Beecham is in projecting against the bunt. Anything hit up the middle is going to be an easy hit for Coran. 2-2 to Kyra. She bounces it up the middle. It's fielded by Heller at second. The throw to first in the dirt, and that's not going to get Coran as Griggs is unable to handle it. And it'll be a single for Kyra Coran. It all started with a leadoff single. So here comes Rebecca Rubio. Rubio, who I just mentioned earlier, well, that might have changed by percentage points now that Coran got a hit, but coming in today, the team leader in batting. That can do a lot to just get some momentum back in the dugout. This is a bounce over to the left side. Torres fields it, pitches it to second. The throw to first is not in time. And so a fielder's choice, 6-4, and Rubio will go to first. And Hazel Gray will come up to the plate. Well, it was not Hazel Gray's day today out in the circle, but we'll see if she can get something going with the bat. She's hitting .241. 2 home runs, 20 RBIs. Her OPS just a little over 700. This Santa Clara offense has not been the same beast we saw last year, at least to this point in the season, as Gray bunts at that one and misses. It's 0-1. When this Santa Clara offense is on, they are a beauty to watch, especially with the way they score runs. They're very much a ground attack kind of team, put the ball in play. But they've had moments this season where they've gone a little quiet. 0-1, and Gray pops it up out to left. Sturgis underneath it, and she makes the catch for the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Marie Martorella. One of the things Gina Carbonado has been trying to find is a consistent presence in the cleanup spot. We've seen Kyla Akers take that spot. Here and there, we've seen Taryn Clements move up to cleanup. But Carbonado has not been able to find what she found with Hope Alley last year, which is just a consistent run producer in that cleanup spot. So in comes Marie Martorella, who's going to get a shot. She's hitting .258 with a home run and 10 RBIs. This misses low. Taking off for second is Rubio, and Rubio just barely gets in there with a stolen base. That's her 11th stolen base of the year. So despite the 7-0 lead, Santa Clara is still forcing the issue. Should I say despite the 7-0 deficit, Santa Clara is still forcing the issue. 1-0 count here to Martorella. Martorella, the designated player here today. Here's the pitch. Martorella bounces this one up the middle, fielded by Heller at second. The throw to first in time for the out. Nice play there by Heller as she had to range behind the base into the gap and throw to first. So Santa Clara unable to score here in the first inning. Florida State up 7-0, and Santa Clara cannot afford to give up any more runs. We'll have more coverage of this game when we come back. You're watching college softball here on ESPN+. Alabama softball team hosts USD, and the baseball team hosts St. Mary's. Both games will be right here on ESPN+. It'll be a fun and exciting Friday night here on the campus of Santa Clara, as both of these great teams, the baseball and the softball team, will be playing across from the street of each other. Marin Heller comes up to the plate. She's 1 for 1. Florida State up 7-0 already here in the top of the second. Carrie Ferguson back out to work. Here's her pitch, and this is fouled away. It's 0-1. For Santa Clara, this game doesn't mean anything as far as the conference race. And Santa Clara starts off their conference season 4-2 in the WCC. They have played 3 more games than the 2 teams ahead of them, St. Mary's and Seattle University, who are both 3-0. 0-1 pitch to Heller. And that misses low and inside, 1-1. Santa Clara will get back to conference action this weekend against the University of San Diego. Again, stay tuned. We may have to change some times in that series as far as game times are concerned because of the rain coming in. 1-1 to Heller. And that misses low, 2-1. St. Mary's is going to be a tough customer, though, this year. They have played extremely well to start the season, 27-11, including their non-conference. And so Santa Clara will have a challenge trying to catch them. Santa Clara, the defending WCC champs. 2-1 line drive into the glove of Rubio, who makes a nice leaping catch out there at short. That's some of the sure-handedness that we're used to seeing from Rebecca Rubio out at shortstop. So 1 down here in the inning, and Ashton Danley will come up to the plate. There were a lot of big hits in that first inning for Florida State, but Danley had arguably the biggest one, a 2 RBI double that made it 3-0 at the time. She's 1 for 1. First pitch to her, and she takes in the dirt, 1-0. In the ACC for Florida State, their closest challengers right now are Duke. Duke currently 13-2 in the ACC. Florida State 12-0. Hard to get better than that. 1-0 pitch, and that's outside, 2-0. As I mentioned, Florida State, the reason they're playing Santa Clara here today is that they have a weekend set against Stanford, about 30 minutes down the road from here. Stanford 9-6 in the conference and 23-12 overall. Stanford also ranked in the top 25. 2-0 pitch, and there's a strike on the inside corner, 2-1. So that'll be a fun series coming up this weekend. Saw that a couple of those games are actually on the main ESPN network and ESPN2. So, again, an exciting time to be a Florida State softball fan, a Santa Clara softball fan, or even a Stanford softball fan, as this is fouled away, 2-2. 2-2 count, 1 out. Santa Clara will have a nationally televised game coming up, their second to last game of the season, May 8th. They'll be playing St. Mary's, and that could be a very big game as far as the WCC conference is concerned. 2-2 pitch. And this is lined out to left center field, and Balmediano is going to meet the ball in the gap. 2 outs in the inning. Hit hard there off the bat of Danley, but Balmediano in the right spot. So 2 outs in the inning, and Anna Hind will come up to the plate. Hind walked in the first and came around to score. Designated player for the Seminoles. Florida State wearing their road grays here today. Santa Clara in their crimson home jerseys. These are my favorite jerseys. These are the red pinstripe ones. First pitch to Hind, and she takes an off-speed pitch low. It's 1-0. Pitch, and there's a strike on the outside corner. It's 1-1. Hind, who normally catches for this Florida State team, but getting a chance to be the designated player here today. She's a freshman from Charlotte, North Carolina. 1-1 pitch, and this is grounded foul up the third base line. It's 1-2. Hind currently on a nice little 5-game hitting streak, and she takes outside there. I was about to say it's 6, but she took a walk in the first. Trying to make it 6. 2-2 count. Ferguson ready. And the pitch. And this is popped up. Golub out in center is going to come in after going back just a bit, and she makes the catch. So Carrie Ferguson, a 1-2-3 inning, holds the line. It's 7-0 Florida State as we head to the bottom of the second. You're watching college softball here on ESPN+. Today's game is brought to you by DevCon Construction, building the future of Santa Clara athletics, and by Lux Plus America, covering more ground in more places. Some changes for Florida State coming out of the break. Jasuni Beecham, who was the third basewoman, she goes to play designated player. Coming in is Angeli Bueno. She is now the first basewoman, and then going from first to third is Haley Griggs. So already some defensive changes here for Florida State, which I guess isn't too unexpected when you're already up 7-0. Try to get some people some at-bats. And Taryn Clements is going to lead things off here for Santa Clara. And she takes a strike on the inside. It's 0-1. So the only real change defensively is Bueno comes in to play first, and Griggs is now at third. 0-1 to Taryn Clements, the catcher for Santa Clara, and she takes a strike, 0-2. Clements coming off a phenomenal series against Oregon State. In the first 2 games of that series, she went 5 for 6 and had 5 RBIs. Ended up going 5 for 9 overall. 0-2 pitch to Clements, and Clements takes high and outside. It's 1-2. She was unable to get a hit in game 3 of the series against Bailey Murray, but no one was really able to get much of anything going against Bailey Murray in that game. 1-2 coming up here to Clements. And she gets jammed, pops it up, first base side, and Bueno is going to watch that one go out of play. So it remains 1-2. Shadows starting to creep in just a bit from the left field side. There's usually an inning in the middle innings at these 6 o'clock start times, usually around the 4th, where the shadows will start to affect the hitters and kind of their depth perception, because they'll cover up part of the path from the circle to home plate. That one misses outside. It's 2-2. Clements, a .268 hitter. 2-2 pitch. And this is a ground ball out to short. Torres picks it up, and she actually threw it to second. She threw it to Heller, who then threw it to first. So that's a 6-4-3. And getting the scouting report here, apparently, because of the sun, Bueno can't really see the throw from short. At first, I thought Florida State was just Harlem Globetrottering it, but there's the practical purpose. So Robin Palmediano comes up to the plate. I've never seen that before. Here's the pitch, and this is fouled away, 0-1. But that's actually really smart when you think about it. If your first basewoman is having a hard time seeing the ball because of the sun, and you have the time, why not? So 0-1 count here to Palmediano. Palmediano got some big hits for Santa Clara. In fact, she was one of the only ladies who was able to get a hit against Bailey Murray in that Sunday game. As she swings and misses, it's 0-2. Palmediano had 3 RBIs in Game 2 against Oregon State and 1 RBI in Game 1. A .237 hitter. 0-2 pitch to Palmediano. And that misses in the dirt, 1-2. Well, you see something new every day, especially when you cover softball. 1-2 pitch here to Palmediano. Leora Davidson on deck. Santa Clara's got to get something going here. Here's the pitch. And this is popped up, foul territory, third base side. Griggs will make the catch in the coach's box. And there's 2 out in the inning. So Leora Davidson will come up to the plate. Davidson, a .254 hitter. Davidson went 2 for 5 in the first 2 games of that Oregon State series, and then went 0 for 3 in the final game of that series. 2 for 8 altogether. And she takes low, 1-0. Leora Davidson, probably the best raw power threat this Broncos team has. And Gina Carbonato's hoping that she can hit a few more home runs as we get deeper and deeper into the conference season. Only 2 so far this year. This is popped up out to short, and it's actually going to be the third basewoman, Griggs, who's going to cut off Torres and make the catch. So a 1-2-3 inning there for Dmitrievich, and we are going to the top of the third. 7-0 Florida State. You're watching college softball here on ESPN+. Game is brought to you by One Workplace, creating spaces that inspire and transform the way you work. And by Rabbit Office Automation, providing technology for your business. A nice crowd here today at Santa Clara Softball Stadium. Take a look at some of the fans that have filed in here. We had 3 sellouts this weekend. And another good crowd here today, including a lot of Florida State fans who are here to enjoy this game. Kennedy Harp is going to lead things off here for Florida State, and she fouls this down the third base line. It's 0-1. Harp struck out swinging in the first. A large contingent of Florida State fans have made the trip, and why not? Get a nice period of time here in Northern California to watch a game here at Santa Clara, then 3 games at Stanford's new softball stadium. 0-1 pitch to Harp, and off-speed pitch that flops in for a strike, and it's 0-2. And just off the outside. Nice pitch there from Ferguson. And it's 1-2. Kennedy Harp, a junior from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Went to Peachtree Ridge High School. That's a good name for a Georgia high school. 1-2. And that misses low. No swing on the appeal, and that was pretty clear. 2-2 count now to Harp. This is quite a team that Florida State has. Harp, a .333 hitter on the season. 2-2 pitch, and she fouls this away. She hit .412 last year with 9 home runs and 49 RBIs, and her freshman year, she hit .309. So Kennedy Harp has never known college softball where she was not at least flirting with a .300 batting average, and she's never had a season below .300. 2-2 pitch. And that misses low, trying to get Harp to fish there on the off-speed pitch in the dirt. It's 3-2. So a big pitch here coming from Ferguson. Cannot walk the leadoff hitter. Full count. Here's the pitch. And strike 3 called on the outside corner. So 2 strikeouts in the game for Harp, 1 swinging, 1 looking. And that'll bring up Bella Ruggiero. Mark Maciel getting to show everyone his strike 3 call there for the first time. Ruggiero, 1 for 1. She singled in the first. Here's the pitch. And that misses high and tight. 1-0. It's always interesting seeing how umpires decide to ring people up. Some umpires are very demonstrative about it. Some of them just kind of a fist in the air. 1-0 pitch. And there's a strike on the outside corner. It's 1-1. Maciel kind of in the middle. He has some fun with it, but he's not trying to show anyone up. Here's the pitch. And that misses high, 2-1. If I were an umpire, I would 100% be super demonstrative on my strike 3 calls. I'd probably like do a jump in the air. Yell so everyone could hear me. 2-1 coming up to Ruggiero. And that misses in the dirt, 3-1. So once again, Ferguson teetering on a walk here to a 3rd inning hitter for Florida State. Has to throw a strike here. 3-1 pitch. And this is lined right back up the middle, but into the glove of Golub. And so Ruggiero hits it hard, but just can't get it past the sure-handed Golub out in center. Caitlin Golub, one of the best center fielders in the WCC. Haley Griggs will come up to the plate now. She's 0 for 1. She struck out swinging. Carrie Ferguson has really tightened things up. She's retired the last 6 hitters for Florida State. And in fact, the only hit she gave up was when she came out and she inherited the mess left for her. As this misses high, 1-0. She had runners at 2nd and 3rd and gave up an 2 RBI triple to Isa Torres. Made it 7-0. After that, Ferguson has been phenomenal, trying to retire her 7th in a row and get to the 3rd. 1-0 to Griggs. And there's a strike on the outside corner. It's 1-1. This wasn't necessarily the roadmap for Gina Garbonado. I'm sure she wanted Gray to go deep into the game and then maybe use Ferguson later. But things happen. Popped out to 2nd, and Coran will make the catch on the outfield grass. So a 1-2-3 inning for Carrie Ferguson. She's retired 7 in a row. We're going to the bottom of the 3rd. Santa Clara, lots of work to do. They're down 7-0. You're watching college softball here on ESPN+.
Kid, your mother and I noticed you've been going through some changes.
When two people love each other.
We want to talk protection.
Mom, Dad, we've been married for years.
Honey, we just want to talk to you about insurance.
Ralph, Barb, no, you don't have to worry. No, with Heffernan, we're totally protected.
Great. So when are we having grandbabies?
Oh, yes. Heffernan Insurance Brokers. We keep you protected.
If you've been hurt in an accident, you really do need to call a lawyer that's well-versed in the area of personal injury. You absolutely have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Because now you're going to have someone who's fighting for you, who's going to do everything they can to get you a very fair settlement. Insurance companies are in the business of making money. They're not in the business of paying out money that one would consider a fair settlement. If you've been injured, call Habas & Associates today.
You have the power to write your own story, create new possibilities, and set new standards. With pride and prestige, you have the power to forge a new path. We develop fearless leaders, dominate in the classroom, and inspire on the field. From the picturesque landscapes of the Pacific Northwest to the sun-drenched shores of Southern California, you have the power to rewrite history, break barriers, and create a legacy here in the West Coast Conference.
Today's game is brought to you in part by West Coast Sports Institute, where medicine meets rehab. It's the bottom of the third inning, 7-0, Florida State. And Caitlin Golub is going to lead things off here for Santa Clara. The Shadows have almost fully taken over the infield here, but you can see a little bit of sunshine still around home plate, which will make it challenging for hitters until those Shadows fully encapsulate the batter's boxes. First pitch coming up to Golub. This is her first at bat. And she bunts it high in the air, and that's going to get foul off the netting. Ruggiero giving it a look. So Golub trying to reach base here. A little sneak attack bunt. It's 0-1. Dmitrievich has been great for Florida State through 2 innings. She allowed a leadoff single to Clara Curran. Since then, 6 straight retired. 0-1 coming up here to Golub. And there's a strike right down the middle of the zone. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count here to Golub. El Merlino on deck. Well, Carrie Ferguson has silenced the Florida State bats over the last 2 innings. Santa Clara's got to get something going with their own bats now. 0-2 is fouled away. Santa Clara has not scored a run in the last 9 innings of play. 0-2 to Golub. Here's the pitch. And strike 3 called. Beautiful pitch there from Dmitrievich. It was a breaking pitch that just caressed the outside part of home plate. And so the first out of the inning and the first strikeout of the evening for Dmitrievich. And there's 1 down in the inning. El Merlino will come up to the plate. Merlino, a .270 hitter with 2 home runs and 9 RBIs. First pitch to her. And this is a bunt right back to Dmitrievich. She'll throw to first. It's being covered by Heller, the second basewoman. And so a 1-4 put out. And there's 2 down in the inning. So Kyra Curran will come up to the plate. Kyra Curran, the only player in the Santa Clara lineup who's had any sort of success against Dmitrievich today. She's got the lone hit for the Broncos. First pitch to Curran. And she grounds this one up the middle. Heller picks it up on a backhand, throws to first, and not in time, as Bueno was unable to pick it out of the dirt. And that's a hit for Curran, so she's 2 for 2. That was a tough play there for Heller. She had to throw against her momentum if she was going into the hole. So Curran with another hit. And we'll see if Curran decides to take off here. Again, she's got 25 stolen bases on the season, and the Broncos at this point, they got to force the issue here. They got to get on the board somehow. Rebecca Rubio 0 for 1. Here's the pitch to her, and she takes an off-speed pitch off the outside. It's 1-0. Rubio grounded into a fielder's choice in the first. So 1-0 count here to Rubio. Here's the pitch, and Rubio takes high and tight. Curran's taken off, and she's into second base safely. The ball spills into center field, and so Curran will go to third. It'll be a stolen base and an E2. So Coran steals her 26th base of the season and then advances to third on the error. So now the first run of the game for the Broncos, 90 feet away. Rubio in a 2-0 count. Kyra, do-it-all Coran, gets herself to third. Here comes the 2-0 to Rubio. And that misses high and outside, 3-0. Hazel Gray on deck. Santa Clara needs base runners. They'd be very happy with a walk here. Here comes the 3-0. And that misses low, ball 4. So Rubio will go to first on a 4-pitch walk. And the top of the Santa Clara order, giving Hazel Gray a chance to make a dent in this 7-0 lead here. So Gray, who flew out to the left in her first at-bat, comes up here with runners at third and runners at first and third, I should say. Gray, who leads Santa Clara in RBIs this season with 20. First pitch to Gray. And she lines this one up the middle and off the glove of Harp in center. So the first run of the game will score for the Broncos. It'll be an E8 for Harp. So no RBI for Hazel Gray. She hit it hard, though. And sometimes that's the toughest ball to catch out in center, just the ball that's coming right at you. Can knuckle a little bit in the air. So Santa Clara gets something on the board here. It's 7-1. Good at bat there from Hazel Gray. Again, she won't get credit for a hit or an RBI, but she hit it right on the button. And now Ruggiero will go out to the circle and talk things over with her starting pitcher, Dmitrievich. So first kind of rough patch here for Dmitrievich here tonight. And again, she retired the first 2 hitters of the inning. And since then, a single, a walk, and then an error by Harp in center. And it was interesting, Harp kind of tried to catch it basket style. And then it just kind of ticked off her glove. Marie Martorella will come up to the plate. She's 0 for 1. So Santa Clara's got to keep on scoring. They're down by 6 now. Rubio at second, Gray at first. Let's see if Martorella can get a hit. Here's the pitch. And Martorella takes high, 1-0. So Dmitrievich definitely not as crisp here over these last few hitters as she was to start the game. 1-0 count, 2 outs in the inning. Florida State up 7-1 on Santa Clara. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. And that misses in the dirt. 2-0, aggressive secondary lead there for Rubio out at second. She'll get back. Shadows are now fully encapsulated the Santa Clara softball stadium, except for a little patch out in right field. That shouldn't affect things too much. 2-0 pitch. And this is hit out to left. Going back is Sturgis after coming in, and she'll make the catch. Sturgis giving Florida State a little scare there. She came in and then had to race all the way back, but in the end, she makes the catch. Broncos score 1. We're going to the top of the 4th. 7-1 Florida State. You're watching college softball here on ESPN+. Well, folks, sorry for the technical difficulties. We had a bit of a power outage here in the Santa Clara press box, but we are all back and running right now. Thank you so much. came on to play first, while Beecham, who had the RBI double in the top of the fourth, ended up becoming the designated player. All caught up? I hope I did a fair job there of summarizing what happened. Angeli Bueno steps up to the plate here in the left-handed batter's box. Avery Siva, again, into her second inning of work here for Santa Clara. Siva's had a rough year so far, 7.56 ERA and 16 2/3 coming in. She gave up a run in the last inning. She misses inside there, 1-0 to Bueno. So even Gina Carbonado here starting to take out a couple of her regulars. We saw Ferguson come out of the game despite the fact she was pitching quite well. And now Montalvo is the catcher in for Clements. As this misses outside, it's 2-0. Again, Santa Clara just 2 days from now has a big conference series coming up against the University of San Diego. 2-0 pitch here to Bueno. Bueno, a .298 hitter coming into this at-bat. And she grounds this one over to second. Curran picks it up, throws to first in time for the out. So there's one down here in the fifth. And that'll bring up another mid-game substitution here for Florida State. Shelby McKenzie comes up to the plate. She's hitting .303, left-handed hitter. Bella Ruggiero's on deck. She's 1 for 2. Florida State scored 7 of their 8 runs in the top of the first inning. Since then, Santa Clara pitching has done a pretty decent job against this star-studded lineup for Florida State. First pitch to McKenzie, and she pops this one foul and out of play along the third base line. Again, Florida State, they come in on a 24-game winning streak. Trying to make it 25 here. The last time they lost was on February 21st against the University of Alabama. So it's been more than a month since Florida State has lost a game. A 1 pitch here to McKenzie, and she takes off the outside. It's 1-1. This is a Florida State team that has large ambitions this season of possibly being the last team standing at the end of the year. Obviously, there's a long way to go. But so far, they are one of the best teams in the nation. It's 1-2 after that pitch hits the inside part of the plate. One-two count. Last year, Florida State was eliminated in the Super Regionals as that misses high and outside, 2-2. They lost to Texas Tech in the Super Regionals. Two-two pitch upcoming here to McKenzie. And this is popped up out to left. Palmediano ranges towards the foul line and makes the catch. So 2 down in the inning. And Avery Siva appears to have settled in. So 2 down here in the inning. Upcoming is Bella Ruggiero. And that misses outside, 1-0. Of course, Texas Tech ended up being the national runners-up last year, losing to Texas in the national championship. So Florida State lost to the team that was the second to last team standing last year in the Super Regionals. 1-1 count. Two outs here in the inning. Siva sets, and the 1-1 pitch. And a slow off-speed pitch that misses inside. It's 2-1. Griggs is on deck for Florida State. Again, Santa Clara trying to extend this game into a 6th inning. Trying to avoid the run rule. 2-1 pitch here to Ruggiero. And that misses way high, 3-1. Siva tapping her chest there as if to say, my bad. Since the top of the first, Florida State and Santa Clara, they've been playing each other pretty even. 3-1 upcoming here to Ruggiero. This is fouled away. 3-2. Some nice work here for Avery Siva. She's kind of been the last woman in that rotation. Her and Kendall Manley both trying to get as much playing time as they can behind Schroeder, Ferguson, and Gray. 3-1 pitch. Excuse me, 3-2, and that's fouled away again. It remains 3-2. So Siva not only getting an opportunity to pitch here in this game, but getting an opportunity to do so against an elite lineup. Some good reps for Siva. And who knows? As we get later and later in the season and Santa Clara continues on this WCC chase, they might need Avery Siva to come through in a big spot. Full count pitch coming up here to Ruggiero. And that's going to hit her. So the first hit batter of the evening, and Ruggiero will go down to first. So a base runner for Florida State here in the 5th. And Haley Griggs will come up to the plate. Griggs is 0 for 2. Griggs, who is now playing third after starting the game at first. 2 outs in the inning, 8-1 Florida State here in the bottom, excuse me, the top of the 5th inning. First pitch here to Griggs. And that's outside. Screwball there. They couldn't find the strike zone. It's 1-0. Beautiful evening here in the South Bay. T-shirt weather. Temperatures in the low 70s. 1-0 coming up here to Griggs. Ruggiero on first. And that misses inside, 2-0. One of the great things about the night games is, at least for the broadcasters, have a chance to do something before the game. So I went on a hike in Marin today. Shorts and a t-shirt, it was beautiful. 2-0 pitch here to Griggs. And this is lined out to left. Balmediano comes in a bit and makes the catch. So that'll end the inning. 1 base runner for Florida State. We're going to the bottom of the 5th. It's 8-1 Seminoles. You're watching college softball here on ESPN+. Welcome back. 8-1 Florida State here over Santa Clara. We're going to take a look at our standings presented by Lenardi's Markets. This is the West Coast Conference, and as you can see, St. Mary's and Seattle U off to great starts at 3-0. Santa Clara 4-2, though. They've won 2 out of 3 in their first 2 conference series of the year. And they probably feel like they could be 5-1 after losing the 3rd game to Loyola Marymount a couple weekends ago in heartbreaking fashion. Caitlin Golub comes up to the plate. She misses low and outside. Jazzy Francic back out for her 2nd inning of work. There is a change defensively for Florida State. There's been a lot of changes defensively so far today. Maddie Frey is the new catcher for the Seminoles. 1-0 here to Golub, and Golub takes high, 2-0. Makes sense, 8-1 game. Florida State trying to get some of their bench players into the game here today. Lonnie Alameda, the head coach of Florida State, one of the more accomplished head coaches in the nation. 2-0 pitch here to Golub. And Golub takes a changeup for a strike. It's 2-1. Francic, a sophomore. She's a Florida girl. 2-1 pitch, and that's fouled away. So Golub with a line drive foul, 2-2. Taking a look at the resume for Lonnie Alameda, she won the ACC Coach of the Year 2 out of 3 years in 2023 and 2025. That was after a run of 5 straight years winning the ACC Coach of the Year from 2013 to 2017. And a half swing and a miss by Golub. There was 1 out in the inning. Of course, Alameda, a national championship coach after her team was able to win the national title in 2018. She also finished as the national runner-up in 2023 and 2021. So you are looking at, in Lonnie Alameda, one of the most accomplished coaches in the nation. I've said that many times, and I'll say it again because it's true. Merlino at the plate, and she takes a strike on the inside corner. It's 0-1. She's 0 for 1. A 1 pitch, and that misses low. 1-1. Lonnie Alameda's got some West Coast ties before coming to Florida State. She was the head coach at UNLV and was a very successful coach at the University of University of Nevada, Las Vegas. 1-1. This is a ground ball over to the right side. Picked up at first by Bueno. 2 down the inning. I don't even know what I was trying to say. Was I trying to say Nebraska or Nevada? I said Nevaska. That's new. Kyra Coran comes up to the plate. She's 2 for 2. Alameda was the Mountain West Conference Coach of the Year in 2005 and 2007, was the West Region Coach of the Year in 2005. First pitch here to Kyra Coran. She shows bunt, and that's going to go foul. Coran is 2 for 2. She's got the only 2 hits for Santa Clara here today. 0-1 here to Kyra. She scored the only run for Santa Clara as well. Coming around to score on an error in center field by Florida State. 0-1 pitch here to Coran. Swing and a miss. Coran was fooled. Off speed pitch. It's 0-2. You rarely see Kyra Coran fooled like that. That was a great pitch. So 0-2 count with 2 outs here to Kyra Coran. Here's the pitch. And that's popped foul. Remains 0-2. Again, both these teams after this game will move on to big series in their respective conferences. Florida State will play Stanford this weekend. Santa Clara will play San Diego. 0-2 pitch here to Coran. And that's outside, 1-2. This game part of a very rigorous non-conference schedule for Santa Clara. They've played Washington, who was ranked, Arizona. They played the defending national champs in Texas. They played Stanford. Gina Carbonado making sure this non-conference was challenging for her up-and-coming program. This misses outside, 2-2. Now, Santa Clara has not fared well in any of those ranked matchups as of yet, but the experience is still worth something for a program that is continuing to climb as far as national recognition. This is a high drive out to right. Going back is McKenzie, and McKenzie will make the catch just short of the warning track to end the inning. So a 1-2-3 inning there for Santa Clara. We go to the 6th. It's 8-1 Florida State. You're watching college softball on ESPN+. New pitcher out in the circle here for Santa Clara. Kendall Manley is going to get the ball. And we're going to show you the visiting schedule here for Florida State, presented by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. As I mentioned, that 3-game set with Stanford coming up this weekend. That's going to be a tough turnaround. 1 day off, and then they got to play North Carolina on April 14th in Tallahassee. Hopefully there won't be any lingering jet lag in that one. That game will be at 6 p.m. Eastern time against North Carolina. McKenna Sturgis leading things off here for Florida State. And she takes off the outside, 1-0. Again, the environment for college sports has changed a lot over the last few years. 1-0 to Sturgis. And there's a strike. It's 1-1. That first game against North Carolina will actually be on April 17th, so it'll be a bit of an easier turnaround for Florida State. It'll be on a Friday. 1-1 pitch to Sturgis, and that misses high, 2-1. I'm hearing there's changes. So it looks like, from what I can make out, Zavarella is now in center.
Yeah, re-enters center, and then Manley goes in the 8th spot pitching for Gollum.
2-1, and that misses low, 2-2. And Kendall Manley is now in the lineup in the number 8 spot as the pitcher.
She sits on this
3-1 pitch coming up. And Sturgis takes a strike. It's 3-2. Kendall Manley has not had a terrible year out in the circle. 4.48 ERA. Just has not gotten a lot of time to pitch. In fact, over her last 3 innings in 2 appearances, only 1 earned run allowed. 3-2 coming up to Sturgis. And that's off the outside, ball 4. So a walk to start off the day for Manley, and then I'll bring up Isa Torres. Well, Isa Torres, she's doing exactly what you'd expect out of someone hitting .610 to start the day. She's 3 for 3. The crazy part is if she goes 3 for 4, her average actually doesn't go up by much. That's how you know you're having a good season. Sturgis at first. Here's the pitch to Torres, and Torres fouls it away. 0-1. Earlier this year, Isa Torres made history with 16 hits in 16 at-bats. In fact, it was 16 hits in 23 plate appearances with 7 walks, so she reached base 23 straight times, which was the 16 hits in 16 at-bats is a NCAA record. 0-1 pitch to Torres, and that misses in the dirt. That'll get away from Montalvo. And so Sturgis will advance to second. Again, Florida State, if they can score 1 more run and then get 3 outs in the bottom of this inning, the game will end preemptively before the regulation 7 innings. 1-1 pitch up coming here to Torres. Ground ball over to the left side. Rubio picks it up, throws to first, not in time. And that's part of the reason why Torres can hit for such a high batting average. I mean, Santa Clara fans get to see it firsthand with Kyra Coran, who's a similar player. When you got that kind of speed, any ball to the medium or deeper depths of the infield, and it's pretty much an automatic hit. So here comes Beecham for her 3rd at bat. She's 2 for 3 with a couple of RBIs. And Beecham gets the very, very, very fortunate task of hitting behind Isa Torres, at least when it comes to RBIs. That's off the outside, 1-0. Beecham, who came in 7th in the ACC in RBIs at 44. She leads this team, and she's got 2 more here today. Again, it's always nice to be someone who is adept at picking up RBIs when you got someone like Isa Torres hitting ahead of you. Ground ball over to the 3rd. Merlino will pick it up, throws it first in time for the out. Coming in to score is Sturgis, so Santa Clara content to trade a run for an out there. And Beecham picks up her 3rd RBI of the night. Advancing to second is Torres. So now Santa Clara is going to need at least 1 run to extend the game to the 7th. Marin Heller comes up to the plate. She's 1 for 3. Pitch from Manley. That's off the outside, 1-0. What's crazy about Isa Torres is that for most players, I would say in the history of softball and baseball, a 4 for 4 day is something you remember. It's something you cherish. For Isa Torres, it's kind of like, ho-hum, I went 4 for 4 again. 1-0 pitch, and that's high, 2-0. I mean, Torres's numbers, and I'm sorry if this inning just kind of seems like an Isa Torres appreciation speech, but her numbers are video game numbers, especially when you look at the on-base percentage. A .664 on-base percentage coming in. 2-0, and this is grounded foul. 2-1. And then her slugging percentage is also phenomenal. Excuse me, her slugging percentage is incredible. 1.048, over an 1,000 slugging percentage, which means her OPS is over 1,700. That's absurd. 2-1 pitch coming up here to Heller, and that misses high, 3-1. And nationally, Torres came in with the second best batting average in the nation here today. This is line foul down the right field line. And Isa Torres, she's always been a good player. I mean, you take a look at her numbers even before this year. 436 batting average in 2025, that's elite. 2024, she hit 356, but then she has just taken it to a whole different level here in 2026. The only woman with a better batting average than her coming in was Mariah Poehler out in Purdue, who had a 611 batting average, and Torres might have moved ahead of her today. As this is popped up, Coran makes the catch out at second. So there's 2 outs in the inning. In fact, we can find that out for you. Did Purdue play today? So I just got confirmation. Torres is the new national leader in batting average in the NCAA. So 2 outs in the inning, and Ashton Danley comes up to the plate. First pitch to Danley. And she takes a strike on the inside corner. It's 0-1. So you are looking at someone having not just a great year, but a historic year when you're looking at Isa Torres, who's currently on second right now. 0-1 pitch. This is lined out to left center field, and Isa Torres will get come home safely for the 10th run of the evening for the Seminoles. It's 10-1 Florida State. Danley picks up her second RBI double of the evening. She's now got 3 RBIs tonight. And so here comes Angeli Bueno. Bueno had her first at bat in the 5th, and she grounded out. 10-1 Florida State. It has been a dominant performance for the Seminoles here today. They've looked every bit like a top 10 team in the nation. As this is lined out to left, down for a base hit. Holding at third is Danley, so Bueno picks up a hit. And now there's runners at first and third with 2 outs. And Shelby McKenzie will come up to the plate. She's 0 for 1. I was talking to the Florida State SID before the game. Apparently they got a nice little trip planned. They went out to downtown San Francisco yesterday. Got plans to go to Sausalito. Got plans to check out some nice nature here out in the Bay Area. Sounds like a fun trip. First pitch, and there's a strike, 0-1 to McKenzie. Of course, there's a large contingent of Florida State fans. I'd imagine many of them parents and family of the players here following the team. It seems like a lot of fun all around, to be honest with you. 0-1 pitch here to Heller. Runners at first and third, and that's off the outside, 1-1. Danley, the runner at third. Bueno, the runner at first. Manley trying to get through this inning here. Here comes the 1-1. And that misses in the dirt, and it'll get behind Montalvo, so a wild pitch makes it 11-1. Danley comes in to score. Going to second is Bueno. And these Florida State fans have a coordinated cheer. I believe it's with some of the players as well. Haven't been able to make out exactly what they're cheering. But it's the fight song for Florida State. Right now, Santa Clara is talking things over behind the circle. And now the meeting will disperse. The only cheer I remember, as far as baseball and softball teams are concerned, the Nationals have a cheer where they spell out Nationals after home runs. And I remember as a kid absolutely hating that cheer, especially growing up as a Giants fan. There's Nationals and Giants having some great battles back in the day. 2-1 to McKenzie, and there's a strike, 2-2. (11-1) game, Florida State out in front. Three runs in here in the 6th. Manley ready, and the 2-2. Popped up out to center, Golub coming in, and Golub will make the catch to end the inning. Florida State scores 3 more here in the 6th. It is all Seminoles. They're up 11-1. Santa Clara needs at least 3 to extend this game to a 7th inning. You're watching college softball here on ESPN+.
Credit Union One, the official credit union of the West Coast Conference, offers the best of everyday banking. CU1 members gain access to competitive products like high-yield checking, dedicated financial wellness resources to help you build a strong foundation for the future, and nationwide access through 24/7 digital and mobile banking and an expansive network of 90,000 ATMs from coast to coast. Discover better banking for all at cu1.com, federally insured by NCUA.
How much sweat are you willing to lose? Because when you do that, you can surpass the hype. You can inspire generation after generation. You can compete against anything. So how much are you willing to lose? That's how you know. Hey now, say now. How much you willing to win? Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now.
Clutch Seats. Get in on the action. Don't miss the save. Scoring tickets has never been easier. Get your tickets now at soldout.com. Soldout.com is a proud partner of the West Coast Conference.
Welcome back, folks. Let's take a look at our home team schedule here presented by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. That's the Broncos. They're going to take on San Diego here in Santa Clara this weekend. That'll be a fun weekend series. And then they'll take to the road to go just about an hour and a half up north from here to take on the University of the Pacific in Stockton, California. Jazzy Francic is back out to work here. Francic has left. And the new pitcher out in the circle now is McKenna Reed. So McKenna Reed, I was just about to talk about how great Jazzy Francic is. I can still do that. First pitch here to Rebecca Rubio, and that misses high and outside. Francic came in during the power outage, so I didn't get a chance to talk about her, but she's one of the best freshman pitchers in the nation. Excuse me, one of the best sophomore pitchers in the nation. And the last time she gave up more than 2 earned runs or more was on March 20th against California, which was now 6 outings ago. So she's pretty good, and she was very good today for Florida State. She gave them 2 scoreless innings, and now she hands it off to Reed. 1-1 pitch to Rubio, and there's a strike. It's 1-2. So lots of different players getting opportunities here in this game for Florida State as they get ready for their weekend set with Stanford. McKenna Reed, she's from the West Coast. She's from Portland, Oregon. 1-2 to Rubio, and Rubio hits this one in the left field for a base hit. So Rubio with a single. And that'll bring up Hazel Gray. Reed, who has been a Florida State stalwart since her freshman year in 2023, comes into this appearance with a 3.13 ERA in 22 appearances on the season. Primarily a bullpen pitcher. She's only made one start this year, and this is her 22nd appearance in relief. First pitch coming up here to Gray, who's 0 for 2. And she takes a strike, 0-1. Gray didn't get an RBI, but she did knock in the only run of the evening for Santa Clara when she hit one on the button out to center, and it was dropped by the center fielder at the time for Florida State, Harp. Rubio, the runner at first. Here comes the 0-1 to Gray, and Gray shows bunt and then pulls it back and takes a strike. It's 0-2. All things considered, Rebecca Rubio with a good night tonight. She reached base 3 times, including a walk and then that single you just saw. 0-2 pitch coming up here to Gray. And that's way high and outside. Nice play there behind the plate by Frey to make sure that didn't go to the backstop. It's 1-2. Sun is almost fully set here in the South Bay. Beautiful sunset as we always get here in Northern California. 1-2 coming up here to Gray. And that's popped foul behind home plate. Remains 1-2. So Santa Clara will have to put this one behind them, as their conference schedule will continue against a scrappy San Diego team that is going to come in 3-3 in the conference. 16-19 overall. So they're not going to be a pushover. 1-2 misses in the dirt. It's 2-2. A lot of good teams in the West Coast Conference this year. Santa Clara already played Loyola. Took 2 out of 3 from them. San Diego, we mentioned them. They're coming in. Seattle U has started their conference season undefeated. And then St. Mary's, who a lot of people expect to win the WCC this year. 2-2 pitch to Gray, and she fouls it away. So repeating as West Coast Conference champions will not be easy for Santa Clara. But then on the other end, I mean, it's not going to be easy for a team like St. Mary's to win a bunch of games either. St. Mary's, they swept their first series of the season against UOP, but UOP is probably the worst team in the WCC. 2-2 pitch, and Gray pops it up behind the press box, and it'll get out of play. So it remains 2-2. The thing that makes St. Mary's so tough is their pitching. Great pitching staff out there for the Gales. But Santa Clara's got some good pitching too. It'll be fun to watch that race throughout the rest of the season. 2-2 pitch, and that's fouled away again. So Santa Clara trying to scratch and claw their way, at the very least, try to get within 7 and play a 7th inning. Rubio at first. 2-2 pitch to Gray, and Gray bounces this one over to first, picked up by Bueno. The throw to second is in time, but not nearly enough time to get Gray on the back end. So that'll be a fielder's choice 3-6. And Gray will take Rubio's spot over at first. So Gray is 0 for 3. Marie Martorella will come up to the plate, but first it looks like we're going to get a pitching change. And that's exactly what we're going to get, as Florida State will put their 4th pitcher of the day out there. It'll be Marley Gaskell, who's going to be the new pitcher here in an 11-1 game. All right, we're gonna go to break here in an 11-1 Florida State lead. Bottom of the 6th inning. Santa Clara down to their final 2 outs. You're watching college softball on ESPN+. Welcome back. New pitcher out there for Florida State. And the new pitcher is Marley Gaskell as she gets Marie Martorella to swing and miss. Gaskell, a 4.82 ERA. This is her 13th appearance on the season. In 20 1/3 innings, she has allowed 41 base runners and 15 strikeouts. 0-1 pitch here to Martorella. She takes high and tight, 1-1. So Coach Alameda deciding that she wanted to get Gaskell in the game before this game ends and get her some work. See if Santa Clara can score a few runs off of her. 1-1 pitch coming up here to Martorella. That misses low, 2-1. This is the fourth pitcher of the evening for Florida State. So both teams utilizing 4 pitchers here tonight. In what has been a game controlled by the Seminoles since the very beginning. They scored 7 runs in the top of the first, and that really kind of set the tone for the night. 2-1, swing and a miss. Martorella was out in front. It's 2-2. If this game ends as expected at this point, Jazzy Francic will go to 15-1 on the season with the win. Hazel Gray will fall to 0-4. Gray with a tough outing today. Only went 2/3 of an inning and allowed 7 earned runs. 2-2 pitch to Martorella. And this is bounced foul up the third base line. When I talked to Gina Carbonado last week, she told me that it's very important for Hazel Gray to get going here out in the circle because Santa Clara is going to need her as that third starting pitcher if they want a chance to really contend and compete, not just for the WCC, but even make some noise further than that in the NCAA tournament. 2-2 pitch, and that misses low and outside, 3-2. Obviously, winning the WCC is first and foremost, and that's going to be difficult enough, but Gina Carbonado really does believe that while Ferguson and Schroeder have both been phenomenal, she's going to need Hazel Gray to step up if this team wants to achieve its goals. 3-2 pitch to Martorella. And this is a little squibber foul up the first base line. It remains 3-2. So Gray, a rough start here today, but again, before today, she only allowed 4 earned runs in 6 appearances. So she was on the right track, and hey, man, this Florida State team is a buzzsaw. It won't be the last time a team or a starting pitcher gets roughed up by this Florida State offense. 3-2 pitch to Martorella, and this is lined up the middle and down for a base hit. Fielded on a hop out there in center by Sturgis. So a single by Martorella. She gets her first hit of the evening. And now runners at first and second here with 1 out. So Mariah Montalvo. Martorella just hit. Now Montalvo comes up to the plate. She's 0 for 1. Montalvo, who pinch hit in the 4th and then stayed in to catch for Taryn Clements. As Gina Carbonado got her star catcher off her feet in a blowout game. Gray at second, Martorella at first. Here's the pitch. And that's high, 1-0. So a 1-0 count here to Montalvo. Free hot dogs being passed out here in the press box. It's a good day. 1-0 pitch, and this is popped up high in the air. Foul territory, third base side, and the catch is made by Griggs. So now Santa Clara down their final out. And that'll bring up Almediano. Me personally, I appreciate the concept of a hot dog. I just have to say, hot dogs, they just don't sit well with me. It's got to be a very specific situation for me to have a hot dog. But I appreciate free food in any of its forms, so happy that we got some free hot dogs up here. Almediano bounces this one foul up the first base line. It's 0-1. Almediano 0 for 2. Now, I will say, I am strictly no ketchup on a hot dog. It's got to be mustard, relish, sauerkraut, onions, anything but ketchup. 0-1 to Balmediano. And that's a high drive out to right, and it's going to go off the glove of the right fielder, McKenzie. 1 run in to score. Here comes Montalvo, and getting thrown out at third is Balmediano. And funnily enough, that's going to end the game. So this game ends 11-3. on an RBI double by Robin Balmediano, but then she gets thrown out trying to stretch a double into a triple. So Santa Clara makes the score look a little bit better. They end up falling in this one 11-3 in 6 innings as Florida State extends their phenomenal winning streak from 24 to 25 games. Florida State is now 36-4 on the season. And for Santa Clara, they fall back to 500 as they are now 19-19. And they will turn their attention back to the conference as they'll take on San Diego this weekend. I'll wrap it off this automation play of the game. Well, it's just a shout out for Florida State as they extend their winning streak to 25 straight. They are one of the top 10 teams in the nation, and they showed this Santa Clara crowd why here today. And now they will continue on their path as they will play Stanford this weekend. And hopefully for them, try to contend for a national championship. All right, folks. It's been a fun one. Although the score was pretty lopsided, still fun to watch one of the best teams in the nation put on a show here in the South Bay, and here they are cheering with their fans. Remember to join us this Friday at 6 p.m. when the Broncos softball team hosts San Diego, while the baseball team hosts St. Mary's. Both games will be right here on ESPN+. For my director and our entire ESPN production team, I'm Kyle Morrison. Thanks for watching. This has been a presentation of ESPN. I hope all of you have a fantastic evening, wherever you may be.